welcome to a new video. I have today my new tripod. So look, it's all stable. I can touch my phone. It didn't go back to normal without falling or something. I got it off Amazon. I did a lot of research before I chose mine and I really like it. I've tried it, all of the things it can do, and I really love it. So yeah, I know I posted a post, I don't know what you call it, about saying I don't know if I could film in the next few days. What hour is it? Yeah. I got an email from my boss today saying she wanted me to come earlier than I was scheduled to, and I thought that meant I wouldn't have time to film a new video today. I'm sorry, I'm like anxiety-tic. But yeah, turns out I have time. So I'm gonna probably edit it at the job, so I'm gonna post it a bit later, but I'm filming it. So I'm excited for today's video. Well, you already know what it's about since you saw the title, but today I'm gonna talk about how to survive 10 anxiety-inducing situations at school. School is like the biggest stress factor in my life, and I have developed over many years. I can't say how much years of school I've done, but over actually 14 years of school. I've been diagnosed with anxiety since since I'm 6, so I have quite the resume about how to survive anxiety. So that's what we're gonna talk about. Obviously I'm not a therapist. I know a lot about psychology, but I'm not licensed. So those are all coming from personal experience and things I've learned in classes and reading psychology things by myself. But this is not professional. Obviously, if you need help, you can go see a professional. There's no shame in that. They can already help you. But I thought I could share some of my tips today. So, the first situation is if you have a lot of exams coming soon in the same period of time. For example, before spring break, I had I think 6 exams in 5 days, 6 or 7, and I was freaking out. So I'm gonna show what I did. So what I do is I take them one at a time. Like if I have, let's say, my French exam first, I'm gonna study French. I'm not gonna study the other's exam. Obviously I know, like I listen in class, so I already know what I need to know, but I still study like the by heart things. Because I'm not last minute. Don't be last minute. It's like the biggest tip, by the way. So yeah, I take them one at a time, and I'm like, so on Monday there's French today. I'm not gonna stress about history on Friday because that's like 5 exams away from today. So I take them one at a time. I've struggled a lot with that in my life, and I'm trying to tell, like, it's great. It doesn't define you. It's not who you are. They are letters, not letters. Well, sometimes they are letters if you live like in Europe, I think. They are numbers on a piece of paper about how great you can memorize things that you're never gonna use again. So don't stress yourself too much with that. If you pass, like that's my goal right now. I used to want to have grades above 90%, and now I'm just saying to myself, if I'm passing the class, that's all I need for university. That's all I need for university, so just passing that class is alright with me. So don't stress yourself. I know it's easier said than done, but coming from the anxiety queen, don't stress yourself too much with that. You're gonna be fine. they're gonna pass eventually. It's 1 week in your life. It's just a passing in your life. It's not this important. I know it feels so important right now, but it's not. So yeah, that second situation is related to that. Actually, it's when you have a lot of papers, deadlines coming up. So my papers are all like in the same 2 weeks for all my classes. And what I do is, if I start a bit on everything, and then I go like from the one that's coming the soonest to the latest. Or if they're bigger to do. Like if one is like 20 pages and the other has 5, I'm gonna start with the one with 20 pages. You have to, what I've learned is that I have to start with the most difficult, because then if I start with the easy, I'm gonna be tired after that. Like I've already been working for like 2 hours, and I'm not gonna want to do the test. This is the more difficult, so I start with the most difficult, and then when I'm done with that, I'm like, oh, I don't want to work anymore. But I'm like, oh well, there's just the easy parts left to do, so I'm like, oh well, let's do them. And same thing with just the overall paper. I start with the most difficult, so then after I have the most easy when it's like closer to the deadlines. So that's what I do. Also, like, do it in advance, like when they're all due and in at the same time. Don't wait until like the last week to start them all. That's like the worst thing you can do. I have a paper to, well, all my papers are due for like end of May, and I've already finished like 1 or 2 of them. So start in advance, and if the teacher changes what you need to do, then you're just gonna change your paper. You don't have to like start over. You just like it's less anxiety inducing to know that you have done them already. The third situation is when you are sleeping in class. Like when you're in class and you're like, this happened to me this morning, when you can barely keep your eyes open, and you're like, oh, I would sleep so bad right now, and like you're doing like this and like this to like sleep. Well, I do that. I don't know if other people did, but I'm sorry, my dog is yelling. So what I do, first of all, I try to bring something to do. This morning I brought a nice coffee. Caffeine doesn't really have an impact on me, but I still bring it because I feel just like there's a difference between just being there in class and when I drink, I just move. So just moving does something. Also do something with yourself. Like if like the class you don't have to take notes. If you have to take notes, you're already moving. Sorry. So that's fine. But if you don't have to take notes, I always have another notebook that I just write random things in it. Like this morning was just every single thing that came to my mind, I would write it. I would show you, but my backpack is downstairs, but it's just a mess. So yeah, when you're sitting in class, find something that will make yourself move and stay active. And if you can, you can't always do that, but if you can, chew gum, because it's going to keep you active in a way that will make you less likely to fall asleep. Also, if you have breaks during the class, get up. Don't stay seated, because you're going to be sleepy if you stay seated. Just get up and go take a bit of a walk in the halls. So the fourth situation, and when you're bored in class, or when you can't it's hard to concentrate in class. So that's one of the things I struggle with the most. One of the things I do is do something like to fidget, but in a subtle way. chewing gum is good. I have this ring that's like that, and I can do that, and you can't really see, but I can like fidget where I can also spin it like that. So yeah, that helps me. I'm literally always doing this all day, every day. It's my favorite thing I bought ever. So just fidget, but you can have an eraser or anything. And if your mind wanders around, like I said, take a notebook and do whatever, draw, write, just mind dump, doodles. Anything is good just to keep you focused on one thing. What works best for me, but most teachers will allow it, is to have a game on my phone that is just visual things, like I don't have to read. So I'm doing the game on my phone, but I can also listen to the teacher at the same time. So you have a visual simulation and ear simulation, I guess. So I'm more able to concentrate on what the teacher is saying, since I also have a visual simulation that like over simulate me. I work like that. So yeah, that's my tip. And then situation number 5 is when you have to wake up early. My classes from Monday to Friday except Tuesday, they're all at 8. I have a class at 8, and I'm a night owl. I'm not at all a morning person, and it's a struggle to wake up early. So what I do is, when I try to go to sleep like not too late, but I always end up going to sleep too late. When like I don't get to sleep past 12 midnight, like 1 a.m. max, big maximum, because I still want to get some sleep. And then also waking up, what makes it easy, I have this you can probably maybe see it right there. You can't really see it, but it's a night. It's a sunset / sunrise lamp. So at night I put it on sunset mode, and it gradually, like, it starts with a big light and then it gradually becomes less aggressive. So it's like if the sun was setting, and naturally, like, my body gets more sleepy, because one of my problems I struggle with is not being sleepy. So that works. And in the morning it's the opposite, so it starts not really bright and then get brighter until your alarm that you put the night before. You can have 2 alarms at the same time, and you can even have sounds to get asleep. I really love it. So yeah, I have that. There's like a Sony one when I bought myself, like $50. You don't have to buy the expensive one. And then what I do, I have melatonin. Well, I have sleeping meds now too, but not everyone can have that. So melatonin really helps. I think the base, like the starting dose, is like 2 or 5 milligram. I don't know. I'm on the highest possible. So yeah, but melatonin can really help, and since it's like already in your body, you can't become addicted to it. Like, you can still fall asleep without it. So yeah, also do the most you can the night before. Like, if you have to have breakfast, make it the night before. To make your backpack the night before, maybe plan your outfit. Like, do everything you can the night before, so when you wake up, you just have to get ready and go. And then sixth situation is oral presentation. I don't do much of them now, but in high school it was like my biggest fear. And what I found really helped myself is to go first. I know it's like everyone's worst nightmare, but when you go first, a lot of the time the teachers are nicest when they grade you because you didn't have an example of other people's presentation. You were the first, a lot of the time you volunteer to be first, and also it's done. When you do it first, then it's done. You don't have to think about it anymore. You don't have to stress about it. It's done. Also prepare yourself, because if you arrive in front of everyone and you didn't have anything, I'm sorry, I can't stop yawning. If you don't have anything prepared, you're gonna be anxious even more. So prepare yourself and just tell yourself that even the people who don't seem to be anxious about it are anxious about it. I'm talking from experience. I've seen other people prove that theory to me. So yeah, there's no really like magic tip for oral presentation. You have to go through it, but prepare yourself and go up first if you can. That's like the best tips I can give you. And take time to breathe. That's also important. Then seventh situation is when you have bad grades or if you are failing. So what I would say is, first of all, know why you failed. That's like a big part, so you can like learn about it and like do better next time. Don't beat yourself up too hard on this, especially if it's a first exam. You have time to get better. Don't be like I said, grades aren't that important, and you always have a second chance. Talk to the teacher about it. Ask the teacher what you can do to have a better grade next time, and yeah, just say you're gonna do better next time. It's not the end of the world. You're gonna be okay, I can promise. And then eighth situation is when you don't know the answer in an exam. So what I do is, especially when it's like exam, you had to learn the theory by heart. What I do is I tell myself, if I don't know the answer after thinking about it, I just write whatever. Like, I'm not gonna spend 15 minutes on a question if I don't know the answer. Like trying to remember the answer, I don't remember it in the 5 minutes, so I won't remember it after 15. So I just, when I don't know the answer, I just tell, okay, Sarah, it's okay, you don't know the answer. It's not the end of the world. You have good answers for the other questions, so just write something that could maybe make sense. Just invent something and don't think about it. It's not that bad. Like, you can have all the answers right. It's like really hard, so you're gonna fail question anyway. So when you don't know the answer, just write whatever. It's okay. Like, it happens that you don't know the answer. Everyone's a human. We're not robots and computers. So yeah. And then the ninth anxiety inducing situation at school, well, for me, sports class. I don't have sports class anymore, but I used to, and it was the worst time of the week for me. What I did to make sports class less worse was to, first of all, get clothes that you're comfortable in. Because if you're not comfy in your clothes and you feel off one of them, it's not gonna help. Get some good shoes too that you find pretty. And don't think about others. Like, if you're bad at sports, the others don't care, even if they yell at you, like, oh, you're not good, blah blah blah, you're boring, you're lazy. You have other talents that they don't. Like, for example, I have no like feet coordination, so bad. Not like soccer is or things like that. And they would always yell at me because I was not good and I wouldn't make the team lose. But I just made myself remember, like, I can write with no mistakes. I can do physics and they don't even have that class. I can write really easily, like songs and poems, they don't. I am good creatively, but they are awful at it. Like, you have two other things than sports. Yeah. And if you're fat, what I recommend is, like, you don't want people to see you're like out of breath, like struggling, etc. Your arms, your legs, I get it. Just tell yourself that if they really care about that, that's their problem. Like, if they're obsessed with your body, that's fucking weird. And if you don't feel like comfortable being out of breath, etc., just they don't care. They don't care. They're just too focused on finding themselves fat, even if they're not. They're too focused on themselves to even notice you. And if they do notice you and they care about you, that's fucking weird. Like, get over me, weirdo. So that's my tip. The last anxiety-inducing situation at school is when the teachers want you to do teamworks, but you don't have friends in the class, and they let you choose a team yourselves. I found myself in this situation so much, and it was like one of the worst things at school. So what I used to do, if I had some, like, not friends, but like people I knew and talked to a bit, I would look at them, and if they had like no one, or if they're like miss someone in their team, I would go and ask them. This takes confidence, this takes time to be able to do it. Trust me, it took me like 16 years, but that's a tip I have. And other than that, you can always ask. Well, that depends if you like. I don't like to do teamwork, even if it's with friends. So I would always ask if I can do it alone. And usually the teacher would say yes. If it's not like being a team is not like the most important thing in the work. But most of the teachers would say yeah. And if really you have to be with someone, I would just sit there and wait for the last person to be available and team with that person that I certainly do not want to be with. But that's life, and it's temporary. It's not going to be forever. The work is going to be done soon. Maybe you can find a friend even if you thought you hated the person you're with. And while you wait, you can just fake being busy, because sometimes it's like embarrassing to wait to be like the last without a teammate. So I would fake like putting my things in my desk, my bag, my pencil case, just fake being busy. So I think that would be my tips. So I hope you liked the video. I really hope I could help you, because all of those things I've struggled a lot with, and I still struggle a lot with, and I would have loved to get a video like this explaining, giving tips on those kind of niche situations. And yeah, I really hope, even if I could just have 1%, I would be so happy. So if you try those tips, let me know. Tell me on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, on the comments here, whatever. Also, I want to do videos that you like. I already said that, but if you have ideas of videos, just comment them and I'm gonna do them if I can. So yeah, I'm just gonna let you go back into your life with no anxiety for school, because you have all those tips. So yeah, so see you in the next video, and I love you.